Nirvana is a concept in Indian religions that represents the ultimate state of soteriological release, the liberation from duḥkha, suffering, and samsara, the cycle of birth and rebirth. All Indian religions assert it to be a state of perfect quietude, freedom, highest happiness, as well as the liberation from attachment and worldly suffering and the ending of samsara, the round of existence. Nirvana quartz is named by the quartz crystal formed in harsh environments. Its formation process it is that, when those volcanic lava, which containing silica was crystallizing in a suitable environment, were suddenly encountered high temperatures, which made them undergo complex chemical reactions and physical changes. But these crystals were still brave enough to go secondary growth, after being damaged by extreme environmental conditions, resulting in transparent and glossy crystals. These quartz crystals do not have the same habits as regular crystals. Their shapes could be triangle, tabular, or uneven. Anyway, they eventually form transparent crystals. Just like the Buddha who was reborn after experiencing hardships, and get the liberation from samsara, so we call this type of crystals Nirvana quartz. Now let's take a look at these Nirvana crystals one by one. This one is a tabular Nirvana quartz, comes from Pakistan. It's so clear. There are some horizontal striations, but the surface is smooth with nice luster. Its thickness is only 1/2 inch. It's obvious that the texture on its surface is naturally formed. A very special one. This one is a laser Nirvana quartz, comes from Indian. It keeps the prism shape of general quartz crystal. It has record keeper marks on its tip face. The boundary of each hexagonal prism's face is not clear. The patterns on its surface seem to show us the harsh environment it once encountered. There are horizontal striations on the surface, and the internal crystal transparency is very high. What shocked us is that it looks like the tip has been rubbed by coarse sandpaper, but they are actually natural texture. The next one comes from Pakistan. It's perfect clear with nice luster. There are special marks on its surface. The boundary of each hexagonal prism's face is not a straight line but an arc-shaped surface, which is full of raceid bubbles. Its tip is intact and it is not converged into a single point, but a pendentive-shaped arc surface also with bubbles. It is obvious that the lower part of the hexagonal prism grown from the harsh environments. The next one also comes from the same mine. It has the same feature as the last one. Some say that the triangles are record keeper marks. A bubbled pendentive-shaped arc tip surface. The next one is a Himalayan Nirvana quartz crystal. It has smooth surface and nice luster. There are natural dents on the tip and ripple patterns on the prism surface. Those diamond-shaped pits originally are nests of other mineral. which fell off after being weathered or eroded by the environment for a long time. There are also relatively sturdy ones that have not fallen off. It has beautiful rainbow in it. This one is a black Himalayan quartz. It has completed tip but prism damaged by the environment when quartz crystallized. Its surface is as rough as the surface of frosting. There is a bridge crystal grow through larger crystals and connect to another smaller crystal. We were surprised to find that some small crystals were formed on these rough surfaces. This is a red Nirvana crystal from Nepal, which is a quartz crystal grow with amphibole. Its crystal prism body is not complete, but it has a complete tip appears at the tip, which is typical of Nirvana quartz crystal. This process is in line with the concept of nirvana, rebirth after experiencing calamity. This one is a Nirvana clear crystal with a very special surface, which is covered with bubble-shaped crystals. Because this shape resembles a Buddha's bun, we call it Buddha head crystal. It has green phantom included. It is also an interference growth crystal. Mica still retains a portion. The tip is very intact. It is also a very special crystal. These protrusions on the surface make this crystal very shiny. The following is a citrine crystal from Congo with an irregular shape. It is a multi-terminated crystal with complete tips. It has record keeper marks. The other side is also complete. This one also comes from Congo, the same origin. There are uneven patterns on the surface, but the glossiness is good. The step patterns all face towards the tip, indicating the process of crystal formation. This is an intact crystal with a complete surface and no broken. The next one is a double-terminated Himalayan citrine. There are wavy patterns on the surface. Record keeper marks are on its tip face. A naturally formed surface at the one end, the other end naturally forms a pattern without damage. Here is a Nirvana amethyst from Bolivia. Its tip is intact. At the bottom of the tip faces, there are some concave patterns. The incomplete prism column at the bottom and the fragmented surface indicate that the crystal has encountered high temperatures during its formation process. The interface between faces is not a line, but forms a face. This is a self-healed amethyst with scars on it. This one is a Nirvana Super 7 amethyst. The root of the crystal did not form a clear crystal shape due to environmental influences, but beautiful crystals were formed at the tip. There are black linear minerals inside the crystal. They're goethite and hematite. It's actually a fade-in quartz. Crystals grow from the middle to both ends. This one is also a Super 7 amethyst. It's a celestial quartz, but in fact, its initial crystallization did not reach the complete crystal shape due to environmental influences, and these uneven surfaces on the back can indicate everything. It has beautiful celestial crystals. The red minerals covered on the scepter crystals is caucoxenite and hematite. This one is also a clear Nirvana quartz crystal. Its unique feature is the natural Lemurian striations on its surface. It is actually a laser crystal, and its unique shape is that each side is uneven. At the same time it tends to sharp and narrow at the tip. This one is a Nirvana smoky quartz. The conical protrusions on its surface seem to be the tips of crystals. It should have been a smoky quartz crystal cluster if it hadn't gone through disaster. In the end, it grew into a multi-tips double-terminated smoky quartz crystal. Its surface is smooth and has a jade-like luster. This one is also a Nirvana smoky crystal with multiple shining tips. Its shape is similar to a rectangular prism, with natural patterns on its flat back. The bottom is also flat with natural patterns. Numberless triangle tips at the top which making the crystal very shiny. This one is a Nirvana rutile quartz. The surface luster is good. The entire crystal chunk is very intact and undamaged. It's clear to see the quartz is full of golden rutile included in it. More clear under the torchlight. A very special Nirvana quartz. This one is a Nirvana rutile quartz, like a green cloud. The green color it presents is due to the interior being filled with green rutile. Its back has 2 flat surfaces. It's more beautiful under the torchlight. Those raised surfaces like foam also have good luster. Every shape of Nirvana quartz crystals is unique. They always surprise us. What kind of Nirvana crystal did you encounter? Welcome to subscribe my channel and leave comments. This is the end of Nirvana quartz crystal introduction. I will introduce other types of crystals in other videos. See you. Bye.